It's not Mother's Day in France, though. They celebrate Mother's Day the 7th of June, but happy Mother's Day if you're in the US.
I'm going to write that down. That means I get to have celebrations. June 7th?
2 Mother's Days.
How did you? You're good.
I looked it up this morning, but so we're in quarantine in France, and so for those of you in the US who may have been locked down or not, it might have been a different experience. So I'll just share some things we've been going through, like factually, and then we'll discuss between us what's been going on. So for the last 2 months, we've been in lockdown with a fine of 135 euros if you go outside for any reason other than like grocery shopping or the pharmacy. So there have been like gendarmes with like their guns, and I don't know, they're kind of like glorified police officers that walk around and check your papers, and you have to have a paper every time you go out saying why you're going out. And the Parisians clap every night at 8 p.m. And bars and restaurants are closed, and they'll remain closed after quarantine. And yeah, Tracy, do you have anything to add?
Have you been doing the
yeah.
Has it? Have you noticed
it's kind of hard to
ebb and flow, or is it like consistent every night? You know.
I have a tiny room that's like it has a window, and so it's kind of hard to ignore it because music will go on, like Queen, or it's always American songs and then clapping. Yeah. So it's kind of hard to do anything else
because we're very busy doing other things, obviously. Like I will say I do have one thing to add, and it's called champagne, because it is Mother's Day, and I, as a mother, and you have a mother, right? And your mother's here. Is your mother on? Okay, well, guess.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
so the proper way to open it, you leave the cage on. You want to do it really carefully. And I brought. I know you're supposed to be a big pop, but no. So I have one, because isn't it? It's like you pour for the other person first, because the French and Parisians especially are all about manners.
Yes. And very polite culture. Oh my God, that's all bubbles.
Others, this is also for you, Madeleine.
Thank you.
So I'm going to set this. It's right here. I promise I'm not going to drink it the whole time. And one for me. And we're going to take this afterwards, after the webinar, because we're going to celebrate the end of confinement. Le confinement, is that how you say it?
Mm-hmm. Le confinement, la quarantaine.
You speak French.
Yeah.
You're good like that. And we're going to celebrate. We're going to take some and then celebrate the last quarantine sunset.
Okay, sounds good.
We'll have some in your honor. So, do you have any wine with you, or champagne or anything?
I actually don't. But did you get that champagne from the grocery store? And if so, which grocery store?
Yes.
Chin Chin.
So there were supposed to be like necessity shops that were open this whole time: grocery stores, pharmacies, fromageries, boucheries, charcuteries. All the ories were open where you can get. So those were deemed necessary shops, and wine shops, of course. So.
Yeah.
Of course.
I was surprised that bakeries were deemed essential at first, because I thought it was just grocery stores, just pharmacies.
Mm-hmm.
But the bakeries around me are open until 2 p.m. every day.
Yes. And what's interesting, we have ours are open until 8.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. What's interesting, so I did a blog post yesterday on the bakeries and just basically talked about how intrinsically important the baguette and basically bread is to the French, but the Parisians in general. I mean, everybody, that's sort of like this rumor that goes around, baguettes, it's law that they can't be expensive, so everybody can afford one. But really, when you see people, even the homeless walking around, they have baguettes. I mean, that's part of what gets dispersed for food dispersion for people that don't have food. And I mean, you just see baguettes, basically pieces of baguette laying on the ground. Like you're walking and the pigeons are just like, oh, I can possibly get one more baguette. I cannot.
Yeah. I'm seeing Linda said that weed dispensaries are considered
Oh,
essential in
oh, she's in
Portland.
Oregon. That's why. Yes.
Yeah.
California,
And
Oregon.
then pigeons,
Ah. Ugh.
I don't know.
Why is
Pigeons
it
probably travel from
no one
everywhere, so they
knows?
speak everything.
That's
But
very funny.
normally a baguette, to answer my mom's question, is around like 20 to 40 cents, but they also go up to like €1.25 or something if you're in a fancy one.
Like the bakery, the boulangerie with like by somebody, you know, this bakery by,
Yeah.
you know, Jean-Philippe, blah, 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 Jacques Pierre, blah, 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 whatever.
Hmm.
Those are the fancy ones. It's
Yeah,
like 20, but it's worth it. They're so good.
it's typically the bakeries that have a sign outside saying which year they won the best like best baguette, best dough.
Mm-hmm.
They have that. It'll say like 2019, like
It's like
they
the
do it.
Concord,
It's like if the president eats your baguette, then
and it says it's the best. You have
you've
to
like
provide it for
won.
a year. So I'm curious. So Linda, do you remember the name of the boulangerie, the bakery you went to? Because now I want to go. So if it's $1.15, it means it's pretty good. It's better than the $1 ones. So do you remember the name of the boulangerie? Yes, it's like the Concord. I wrote it. So if you go to the EXP1 website, exp1.com, and you go to the blogs section, which is down at the bottom, it'll say blogs. So we've been like just uploading different blogs and things. And so you did one on chocolate and the teddy bears, like the big
Hmm.
giant teddy bears that are here posted up.
Hmm.
I did one on baguettes, just kind of how to navigate going in and ordering, because it can
Yeah,
be a
I
little
saw that.
intimidating. They're, I don't want to like crap talk, but they can be a little snooty in some of the bakeries, but it's worth it. You don't have to, these aren't people you're marrying. It's like somebody you're getting a loaf of bread from, but it's worth it to go in and kind of know, like, suss out which one you want. And I said the tradition, in my opinion, is kind of the standard best go-to. Um, yeah, she said, let me check, because yes, the place around the corner from my apartment was considered one of the best. And she had a great apartment. She has a great apartment here. And so
Yeah.
she's in a good area. She's in a really good area. So yes, she's going to check, and
Um,
we'll give that report. But
yeah.
by
So
bois à quoi? I think that's what you're supposed to say. On bois à quoi? You're French speaker, you know that, right? On bois à quoi? And
I
you have to
don't.
like, look into their eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
You can also say chin chin, bonne santé, à votre
Santé, yeah,
santé,
yeah.
like good health for your health.
So we're gonna have to get together as
Um,
soon as this is over, and we'll have to chin chin and santé, because it's been
yeah,
this has been
definitely.
a weird, real weird time. Like
Yeah.
really weird.
But anyway, I mean, we've both had very different quarantine experiences because I, I've been like very strictly locked down and staying inside. But you've been walking around and like, because your boyfriend is a filmmaker and you have tons of photos of like the Paris, like without anyone. Do you want to share those and
Yeah.
share a bit of your experience?
Yes. So, thank you, Gilles. En beau à quoi? Thank you. En beau à quoi? That means, like, that's like the toast you give, and you're supposed to stare at somebody, and you cannot break eye contact, because if you do, it's like bad love life for years after that. So I never break eye contact. So I think we go to slide. There are some. Okay. So I have to see. I'm gonna have to. I don't have a thumbnail. Oh, that's my daughter. So this is kind of fun, and I hope she's here now. Claire, are you here? Claire, are you here? So this was great, because this is my daughter, and when we walked into the Louvre back, this was 7 months, 8 months ago now, not whatever, a number of months ago, the first trip that we came here. So look at the face. You see the face there. We walked into the Louvre and looked up at the ceiling. Gosh, I hope this is the right one. Hold on, it's her again. Oh, I miss her so much. I'm sorry, I miss her so much. There, you can't see which ones they are. There you go. That's her face. So
Oh
we looked up at the
wow.
ceiling all of the faces looking down at us were, we went, hey, Claire, were you reincarnated? Like, what the heck? Oh, my sister's.
Yeah, I see the resemblance.
Yes, for sure. And there are a few other ones that were even more so, but oh, my sister said, love that beauty. Yeah, I miss her too. So I'm trying to see, we can't, when you go to the, this page, you can't see necessarily which ones are which. Okay. So yeah, this was a particularly busy day. That's Montparnasse, right? I just stood
Yeah.
there. No cars coming, nothing. And that may not mean much unless you've been here and you literally feel like you're taking your life in your hands, even when you're walking on the green when you're allowed to walk. It's like, look, nothing. There's,
There's no one.
I don't know if I don't know if I'm John or Paul there, but, and then,
Ringo.
yeah, Ringo. I'm Ringo. Ringo, for sure. And then, oh yeah, this is pretty interesting. Boom. And I want to say that's like
Oh my.
Châtelet or something, like one of the main incredibly busy metro stations.
Wow. For anyone that doesn't know, Châtelet is like one of the biggest metro stations underground.
Mm-hmm.
It has all of the train lines pretty much, and RER, which is the metro train that goes on the outside of Paris, the périphérique. Oh yeah, so Linda, our boss, she lived around the corner from Châtelet. So it's a really big, it's like central Paris. And it actually used to be a jail. So
I was gonna say, is this? Oh yeah, so you're not allowed even until tomorrow to walk. I don't even know if we'll be able to walk along the Seine even tomorrow, but they didn't care. Needless to say, needless to say. But
yeah.
and then
I mean, I hope so. That's the only place I really want to go to right now, is the Seine.
Ah, yes. The sunsets there lately have been pretty magnificent. I'm sorry you missed that. Okay, so
Yeah, I miss all of
she
them.
owns a travel agency. What's the best local, not on the tourist track restaurant to recommend? Okay, so I'm gonna say, in what neighborhood? Like a funky, cool neighborhood. Like what places, Madeleine, have you gone to that are kind of your favorite? We'll have to inundate her with a bunch of stuff. Like what?
So a good local restaurant that I've been to, have you ever heard of Pizzeria Popular?
I have, and I haven't been. But
Okay,
is it but
so
like a pretty hip place with like all the cool bottles in the window? Is that the one? Ah,
yes, 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 yes. Yeah. It's in like the 10th arrondissement. It's Italian. Everyone there speaks French and Italian and sometimes English. And you walk in, there's usually a huge line though, so you have to get there like 15 minutes before it opens or 30 minutes before it closes. Usually there's not a big line. And you go in and you can see the cooks like making the pizza and putting it in the ovens. And I don't know why, but it tastes amazing. It's better than any pizza I've had before, besides the one that I had in Naples. So like where pizza was made originally.
oh man,
So
I'm gonna have to ask you about
it's really cool.
off screen. So Pizzeria Popular. I don't even know how you spell that here because I know how you spell pizzeria in English. I mean, like in America, but I mean not.
I'm writing it down. Like Pizzeria Popular.
So we went to it's called oh shoot, it's called Fief. I think it's called Fief. And it was basically they create a menu for you, so you can sit at the counter. And what was so wonderful about it is that you're right there watching them, and the chef, I guess it was, I don't know if he was the executive chef or a sous chef, but he was there, and you could tell he was so into what he was doing, and like when something, like he was setting everything up and one thing tipped over and I thought he was gonna have an aneurysm. He was just like, and I was like, it's okay, calm down. And he was standing there and we got our plates, and you can tell he's just like trying not to hover over, but like wanted to know what we thought of it. We took a bite and he was just like, and so it was like I kind of held on for a second and then went, it's good. He was like, you know, you could be like super into what he was doing. So I think it's fief.
Okay.
Yeah, so that was a really good one. And there's like a cool, like, where else did we go? Unfortunately, we didn't get to go to a lot of places before.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Yeah.
Linda's saying Chez Janou. Have you been there? Where is that?
I have never been there.
Where is that? So Chez Janou.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure she'll pipe up in a second. Okay, so we got a website there. Did you see that, Tony? Did you? This keyboard. So it's not the QWERTY keyboard.
Oh, it's the French. Yeah.
Yes. So I get, like, I'll type a bunch and then I'm looking for the one key curse and I can't find it. Yeah. So I'm not normally this slow, but I don't even know where the question mark. Oh, there it is. Okay. So it's funny because I have all these things since you've been here longer. How long? When did you get here? And then how long did it take for you to kind of start to feel that you what?
I studied abroad here before in 2017 to 2018. And then I came back this year in August.
Okay.
So getting used to everything was kind of, probably took about 2 weeks of kind of not wanting to go outside because I was like nervous of speaking French or seeming American or whatever. And then I kind of got over that. But that's a pretty fast amount of time since I had the study abroad experience before. And especially with the time difference and everything.
Yes. Oh, yeah. So now, how do you, I mean, is it to keep in touch with your people at home? And you're from like this.
Austin, Texas.
Oh, that's right. Texas.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. So I just call my parents like every so often. I know that they're not awake before 2 p.m. my time, and yeah, that's pretty good. But I do have something to share with you guys for quarantine because I know none of us can travel. Me and Tracy have been stuck inside. I know you really haven't, but you can visit Paris museums. Specifically, I looked up art museums because I like art a lot. But you can still visit them virtually from home, no matter where you are in the world. So if you want to visit the Louvre, which is the museum with the pyramids outside, if you don't know already, you can see their like must-see collection on their website because they have so many artifacts. I'm sure they can't have all of them there, but you can explore curatorial departments and take a tour of the Petite Galerie and see the exhibition of, it's called The Advent of the Artist. So it's like the transition from anonymous craftsmen, the artist style in the classical period, to the more like heroic, legendary Renaissance artist. So you can see that at the Louvre. And then I don't know if you've ever heard of the Musée de l'Orangerie, but that's in Les Tuileries, which is where the Louvre is. It's at the opposite side, closer to Arc de Triomphe. And it's where Monet has his water lilies like along the wall. And they also have a virtual tour, among other works that are there. Musée d'Orsay, which I have a photo of right here.
Oh, that's cool. So that used to
I'm
be
opening it right there. Musée d'Orsay train station,
right? Yeah.
like metro station. Yeah, it used to be a train station, and they have a YouTube channel that you can check. It has videos every Tuesday, and it explores the vision of contemporary artists and figures through different pieces that they have at the museum. And then Centre Pompidou, they also have it's in, but they have one series in English that I know of that shows you various artworks.
I haven't even been in there yet. I
and
went.
takes you through the museum.
Would you
There,
go? Would you go with me one day, Madeline?
it's beautiful. It's all of his sculptures and then all of his like disciples or apprentices sculptures with him, like Camille Claudel. Um, and there's a sculpture garden and everything. And if you go to their website, they have Museum from Home. And you can also look through their other resources and learn about his sculptures as well as seeing them. And then you can also, the last one is you can take a virtual tour of Monet's foundation in Giverny. So that's not in Paris. It's a bit outside. And normally it's like a trip from Paris, but you just a virtual tour it. That's where his gardens are, the ponds that he painted outside of the home, and you can also see that virtually. So, and I'm just gonna add the Louvre as a picture as well, because I think that's fun. Or this is the sculpture by Rodin. So you do know him. It's the thinker, you know, like this. See, it's coming. Yes. There we go. Yeah.
That's how we are most of the time, right?
So that's him.
So my daughter just joined, and Claire, I want to tell you, I already showed pictures of you, and then the pictures in the Louvre on the ceiling. Just letting you totally missed it, but now everybody knows that you look like the paintings on the Louvre. So yeah, she's laughing. So now I have a question. So by the way, where's your yellow beret, Madeleine?
Oh, I forgot. It's upstairs.
So
yeah,
we do. So normally we are. So how Madeleine? So this is kind of interesting. Maybe I didn't even think about this. Madeleine and I know each other because we work together in real life, not in virtual world. In real life, we actually work at the Eiffel Tower. How lucky are we? And we wear yellow beret and bring the Eiffel Tower to the masses by offering tours I mean, it's Experience First Tours, exp1.com. And we are incredibly lucky because basically our day consists of helping people experience all of the wonders and incredible sights in Paris. And then we go and talk about it and eat yummy things at the pastry place and the bakery. And I think what we're trying to do is we've had the Louvre, the Eiffel Tower, and tours of Montmartre, all that stuff. And what we want to do is actually start expanding it. And I think we're as potentially devastating as this has been, the confinement and the quarantine and whatnot. The good thing about Experience First is that we're actually taking this opportunity to really flesh out many more opportunities for people to experience all the delights of Paris. And so it's going to be the typical sites that we have been offering, and then we're going to really delve into doing some like incredible stuff. The level of creativity and imagination on the first team is like mind-boggling to me. I was not expecting it to be. I mean, we're coming up with some really great stuff, so I'm super excited to get this thing back going. I mean, it's going to be super cool.
Me too.
I'm very excited. Very excited.
Yeah. For right now, the like bars and restaurants aren't opening yet, and then probably in July.
Catacombs.
What'd you say?
I was saying the Catacombs. I totally forgot we did the Catacombs because I didn't get to go to that tour, but I've been there. Have you done the Catacombs tour, by the way? I mean, like, have you ever?
Not with. I've done it before, yes. Like the just going to the landmark and going inside. I haven't done a guided tour though, but it was really, really cool. You see all these like skeleton and like skulls everywhere. And I actually have friends who are from Paris, and there's kind of a cataphile culture of people who descend in the catacombs illegally, and basically because the catacombs cover all all of Paris and other European cities has catacombs. Probably Rome has catacombs. It has this. Paris has a really big like center for them. So the landmark, the Tour, is just the tourist attraction. Is just a small bit that they fence off. There's actually people that go down there and like graffiti and hang out and throw parties, and it's because there's no skulls or anything in the, I guess, illegal, but the natural the catacombs. And then in the tourist one, they added all of these, like the gravestone
Mm.
and everything. And it's really in guarding all these landmarks because um, 6 million souls in the Paris catacombs.
Yes, so
that's quite a lot.
So somebody named Kathy is asking, is it claustrophobic down there? So, yeah. So I was going to say, it wasn't to me, but I can
yes,
see why I can see some people would be affected by that. Probably, it's pretty.
Yeah, in the tourist part, like in the normal area where you go down, you can walk. It's a bit narrow, but you can walk comfortably. There's also like big alleys where you see the skulls, and tourists can just kind of spread out a little. So it's not that claustrophobic. Like it's pretty manageable. It's just pretty cold and pretty damp, as Linda said. But in the non-touristy spot, it's like you're caving, if you've ever done that, or like spelunking, like going through caves. And I wouldn't recommend it to anyone who's claustrophobic or afraid of heights.
Oh my gosh. So I totally want to do that. Can we do that?
I'm like, last time I went, I was like, I'm never doing this again. It's terrifying.
Really? Oh my gosh.
Yeah, because I'm claustrophobic and afraid of heights, so it wasn't the place for me. But
well, it's funny because Linda was saying that the skulls and bones are artfully arranged, and they are. It's pretty amazing. And I've been there twice. I went many, many years ago, and then my daughter and I went last year, and we loved it. We thought it was great. I mean, she's super into horror and like all that macabre stuff. So, but what was interesting is that I tend to Claire, my daughter's saying, Linda, I love that movie. Oh, yes, As Above, So Below.
The horror
I had
movie.
no idea that's what it was.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, well, now I want to see that. Son of a gun. I need 2 more months to find it just to like do all of this stuff. I haven't watched enough.
I think it's on Netflix. Yeah, so my daughter as well. That's where I watched it.
Where? She said it's supposed to be scary though, so maybe not for Madeleine. Oh, my daughter she's putting you on blast.
I mean, the first time I was locals and this time I was down there, the first time I was like, couldn't have drawn my. But the normal tourist attraction is very safe. I mean, all the skulls are really artfully arranged. It's like for photo ops and everything. It really doesn't feel like. It feels like you're underneath and everything's good, and it's very historic. And you get the feeling of probably what it was like when it was first made, when they put people there. But yeah, the rest of it, no skulls. And it's just kind of.
Oh, that sounds actually pretty cool, though.
I don't know.
Well, it's funny. We didn't use a guide, and I don't. I would have. I think that she and I kind of ended up. We just navigated through ourselves. But looking back, I think it would have been really nice for us to have a guide because it's very cool to look at. But I really think that hearing some of those anecdotal things and the old stories, I think that actually would have been a really good. So Claire, when you come back, we'll do it, but with the guide. Like we'll do it with an experienced first guide, and then I think we'll get a lot more out of it. Though. And and I'm thinking like all these other, like we're talking. Oh, and I want to say there were a couple of questions back there. Oh yeah, So Antoinette,
I know
not the most French
my
name
mom.
ever, by the way. Antoinette Gault. That's so French. I would like to offer a Paris office tour, a more organic inner workings local experience. Will you offer that? Well, I'm going to have to say yes at this point. Yeah, because I really I think that's really a nice balance because I do think people want to see all the big, well-known sites, and I do think that kind of that more like looking at some of the speakeasies or some maybe like there are a few buildings around Paris that are very medieval. There aren't a lot of them left. I mean, what we consider old in the United States, like we'll be walking and they'll say, "Oh, this
It's
building
like
is
200 years old.
yeah, yeah." It's like in the United States, we mow something down if it's from the 70s. Like here, it's from like the 1770s, 1670s, 1570s. I mean, it's insane.
Yeah.
It's incredible. I mean, yeah.
That reminds me.
Mhm.
Um, you said speakeasy. There's some about like local Paris places to go eat and drink. There's a speakeasy called Moonshiners by
Mhm.
Bastille. I'm gonna write that down.
Write that down.
Moonshiners,
Little old school.
and it's a pizza place. But you go on in, and I mean, obviously, you say hello to the person in front, and you're kind of like moonshiners, and then they let you through. Kind of it looks like the refrigerator, but you go through this kind of stockroom thing, and then you're in one of the most like fancy speakeasies there is, and the cocktails are like 12 euros, so they're kind of expensive, and you're with all these fancy Parisians and it's in a dark room. It's amazing. And there's music. So
Oh,
that's a
yes,
good
yes,
place to go when you're
yes,
here.
amazing.
Yeah.
What's funny too is that here, $12. I mean, that's kind of a price of a normal cocktail. What I've noticed here, I mean, you get like if you go to a show or whatever, you get like a cocktail or whatever. I usually will order a beer or a wine or something. By the way, the best thing in the world is that you can go to like any kind of like we've gone to a couple of shows, music shows, like not huge ones, and they offer champagne at the bar. It's the best thing
Oh,
ever.
wow.
Cocktails are like whatever, but if you go to when you go to a bar here, like a proper bar, and you order a
Mhm.
drink, they're squeezing fresh juices. I went to it's a place called Dirty Dick.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, and it's like it's either Pigalle or I think it's Pigalle. And you go in, it's like Dirty Dick's. It's like a tiki bar, but you go in and it's not a tiki bar. You go in and it's beautiful. And I ordered a Mai Tai or something, and it took them a few
Oh my
minutes, but I
God.
get a drink and it's fresh juices, and there's this yummy like dried citrus round with 9 roasted salted almonds and this frond of something, and it was like it was incredible. I mean, I want to say it was maybe $10 or something. It was yes, everything takes a long time in Paris and usually worth waiting for. The truth. That is the absolute truth. And
Well said.
you may not. I do this thing. I talk about it and I call it. I give people awards, and they're like mental awards for me. I don't physically give them an award, but if I encounter like every once in a while you encounter somebody that's like so nice, like for a Parisian or being
Yeah.
in the United States, everybody we bend over backwards to just be so cordial and so nice. It doesn't happen as much here. I mean, people are kind of
Mhm.
expedient or efficient, and you don't get people that are extremely nice. But sometimes you'll just get somebody that's so dang nice. So I give them like a pretend award. Like in my head, I'm like, "Oh, you get an award. You get an award for being hospitable."
Yeah.
And so you do get things do take time, and you don't always
Yeah.
like the warm fuzzies. But food wise, drink wise, atmosphere, those she is right. Linda's right. That stuff it's worth waiting for. You have to, it's hustle bustle here. But when it comes to service, you just have to know going in if you're visiting here, just understand. If you want like expedient service, go to McDonald's, McDo, but don't really go to Mc. Like I don't. I would say never go to McDonald's here. It's not.
Yeah.
Please
Wait,
experience.
so you said you've been to shows here? You
Mhm.
were saying you went to shows here and you got champagne. What were the shows you went to?
So we went to see Chassol. In
Oh,
it
what's that?
was so he's this oh he's okay so he's this artist and he's been I don't want to say studio musician but he's backed up other artists really well-known artists and
Mm-hmm.
it um and he does this thing it's fantastic so he'll take snippets, like his thing that he's doing now. So he'll take snippets of kids on a playground, like, doing, we grew up doing this,
Uh-huh.
and they're doing, they're doing their verbiage, and he'll put it to music. And it's like, it's just super cool. He has these
Oh,
bit. Yeah, it was amazing. And we
that's
went to
so
this club
cool.
also. Yes, we went to, so Parisians party. And when they start dancing, they are just off the wall. So we went to a place called New Morning, and
Ooh.
it was a DJ. And this is kind of and it's an area that's a little more known for being kind of, it's like it got some flavor to it. You know what I'm saying? It's like a mix
Mm-hmm.
of all different cultures and ethnicities. And we went there, and it was a DJ that was playing like Afro disco and Arabic disco, like from the 70s, 80s, and some newer stuff. And
Uh-huh.
it was incredible. Thank you. Thanks, Jill. The 10th. New Morning, yes. And we kind of start, dancing a little bit and whatnot. And soon, I mean, you just look around and everybody's just like, we're like, woo! I mean, we're the oldest people there. I mean, I'm almost 50 years old, and I still got down. Like, it was insane. It was so fun. It was so
I'm
fun.
50 and I can kick.
And I can kick and I can stretch. Thank you for doing that, Madeline. Props to you for knowing that.
Of course. Of course. I was like raised on SNL. I see. Do you do jazz club tours or nightlife tours? And
I'm gonna say
Huchette
yes.
is touristy, but so cool.
Yes, we
So
will. Yes.
Linda's saying we will. I think that would be awesome
Oh yes.
because there's a lot of jazz clubs here. I was doing a blog post,
Yes.
and
I'm sorry. Yes,
in
Kathy FX Champagne.
yes, in La La Land, the movie, there's a jazz club in Paris, in the Latin Quarter that was actually featured in there, and they never said it was in Paris, and I thought that was really cool. Oh wow,
Wait,
yes,
what is
La La Land is Huchette.
Oh, is that the Le Cave?
Yes,
Wait,
or
is
Huchette. Sorry.
not the jazz club that goes down to do I have a story about that?
Yeah, that
Oh
underground
wait.
one. Yes.
So Claire, are you still there? Speak up, Claire. Okay.
Oh.
Do you remember we went there? That was
She's
like
there.
the cave where we went all the way down. Claire, do you remember? Yes. Okay. So it's right by Notre Dame, and so my daughter, first of all, she went there, and she was very proper. She had never, I mean, first of all, she was their mother. Okay, so props for me. Yes, and they do swing day, like there's all kinds of stuff they do there, Linda. Yes, 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 that's the place. So Claire and I went down there, and it was, I mean, you walk in, and then you go down this really narrow stone staircase, and you're in this, it's like a cave basically, and there's the jazz band playing, and the musicians are really good. So my daughter, first of all, she's 6 feet tall, and she's like Miss Model, so she's sitting there, and then she's playing it cool, but I could tell she's kind of like a little bit nervous. And so this guy comes up and is like, you want to dance with me? And she was like, like, she's like, no, 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 no. So she's kind of trying to play it cool. She's like, I feel bad for saying no, but, and I was like, honey, you never have to dance with anyone you don't want to.
Never feel bad for saying no.
Never feel bad. But you could tell he was so dejected, and she felt bad. So then eventually she and I got she's having a drink because the drinking age here is a little bit lower. I think she was 19 at the time.
18.
18. Yes, it's 8. So she's having her champagne. She's drinking her champagne, and it's like starting to get a little raucous. So a couple of days later, we decide. At the time, it was a friend of hers that happened to be here, like one of her very best friends, fellow volleyball player, and the mother was here too. So she and Kat went out. They went partying in like the Marais, which is, my gosh, we have to talk about the Marais at some point, Madeline.
Yeah.
You gotta like the Marais.
Yeah.
So yes, so we went there, and that was the night. It was packed. It was full of people, and that's when Linda was saying, like, all the people they're in period clothes, and they're swing dancing, and like, it was just The vibe was incredible. I mean, you're in this cave. There's this incredible band playing with incredible musicians. People are swing dancing, just cutting a rug. It was amazing. It was amazing. And then
Uh-huh.
my friend got a text that our daughters were at the police station. We had to leave. So
Oh, okay. And does it cost money to go in, or
what? They went in.
does it does it cost money to get in?
I think it was a couple of bucks. If it was anything, it was a few dollars. My daughter said, not the police story.
Oh, okay.
It's not cheap. I want to say, wait, Linda, what's not cheap? Because I want to say we only paid maybe €5 or something like. Oh, because La La Land. Oh, maybe they charge more. There's another place across from. Really, it's right across. It's another jazz club that it's free, and I want to say I took a picture, and I have to look on my phone because I sent it to mon mec on WhatsApp, and it's the other place that's really good. The other jazz club. Where was it? Oh, it's called Caveau, le Caveau de Oubliette. And it basically, so I'll just show this. Free music in the basement. So I don't know if anybody can see that. So that's the outside of it. This is very high tech. I don't know if you noticed that. Boom, there we go.
Oh, wow. I also know there's Le Lapin Agile. It's like you go and you sing with everyone. It's not so much like a jazz club, but you pay. It's a lot of money to get in. It's like €35 a head, and you go in, and that includes a drink. But it's just the same standard drink that everyone gets. But it's a really French traditional experience. You go in and you sing, and
I feel like Linda,
they have different these French songs.
Linda should go there or has been there because that woman can belt. Have you heard?
Yeah.
Have you heard
I
her?
actually haven't. I haven't yet. Linda, good. Sing for us.
Sing, Linda, sing. Sing for your supper. So Kathy's saying, do you see that? Tell us about
yes, the Paris Plage. That's what she's talking about. It's called Paris Plage. There you go. And it's basically along the Seine, the boardwalk. There's different places to like lounge, pool lounge chairs, the ones you see on the side of pools normally. And there's dancing. There's like little playgrounds for kids.
Is it packed usually?
Sorry?
Is it really packed usually, or can you actually spaces?
Generally, I think normally it's pretty packed. Like until the end of August, every night there's people dancing on the Seine at like Quai Saint Bernard. I'll write that down also. Quai Saint Bernard. You can go because there's these little circles with chairs to sit, like benches alongside, and people will go in the little circle below and dance. And they'll have different styles of dancing. So they'll be like hip hop in one, and then classical dancing in the other one with like all ages.
Gosh.
Yeah,
it's like the best thing ever.
Amazing.
I'm telling you.
It's my favorite thing about Paris, I think.
They party.
Yeah.
And Linda was saying also Palais Garnier.
Okay, yeah.
Palais Garnier. And there's one across from the Eiffel Tower, across from the Vedette boat. So that's another thing too. So the one thing that we did, there's the all the Bateau, the boats that go all around on the Seine.
Yeah, Bateau Mouche.
Bateau Mouche. So there's the Bateau bus, which for me I thought it was a really good value because it's like €20 or $20 basically, American dollars. And it's good for 24 hours, and you can get on and off this boat, and it's actually a nice boat. It's a glass covered boat, so you can see all around. And it stops at like Jardin des Plantes, and I think the Ile Saint Louis. Is that right? And then and I want to say like it stops by the Orsay and everything. And so but so there's that's the only one we took. Vedette and that
Vedette.
yes. So I don't know.
Vedette is cheaper and much more comfortable, Linda
Ah,
says.
okay, so if I
Yeah,
thought
I
that was good, then this
remember.
is going to be even better. That's even
Yeah, because I remember I took Bateau and we were like, we got to be upstairs on the outside once, but another time we were below and it was pretty, it's always really crowded and, you know. So I see we're actually running overtime, but does anyone have any more
for overtime.
questions? I saw a question up there that I didn't answer because I was going to talk about the museums, but the best chocolatiers in Paris, someone asked earlier.
Oh, I want to know.
Um, there's you can go. I did a blog post about this about like hot chocolate. Yes, that was my mom. There's Angelina. There's Hoc de Loca for if you want to get fondue as well. That's by Torsten Jacques. So I'm gonna write that down. Um, and there's another one, but I forget his name. Tracy, can you answer that question? I'm going to look up this
Yes.
chocolatier.
So the reason I'm going to say what I'm about to say is because it's really not available in the. This is a tough one because I would say foie gras because you really can't get that so much in the United States. Um, must try dish. I would say just go to the grocery store. You're going to see stuff that's like I still go when we go to the grocery store. Like we went yesterday. And I feel so much pressure now when I go with him because to him, it's like, whatever. I go all the time. I go and I'm like, oh my gosh, you go in this one section. There's like a whole aisle devoted to different potted meats. And I know that doesn't sound delicious, but pâtés and foie gras and terrines of there you go to the so we're gonna have to cover this too another time, Madeline. Maybe we'll have to do a lot
Yeah.
more of a grocery store. There's like a whole aisle, refrigerated aisle of hams, jambon, hams.
Mm. Also, in winter, there's raclette, which is like melted cheese,
No,
and you melt the
you're gonna
cheese on a little spoon thing, and then you take meat or bread, and you just like slide it off, and that's your
I'm
raclette.
waiting for the kickback right now. Thank you. I knew it was coming. Gilles said raclette is Swiss. And he's
Yes,
Swiss.
but they do celebrate it in Paris, so
Ooh, Madeline, you're opening up a can of worms right now. How do you say
okay, well, I'm sorry.
can of friendly word? No, it's
It is a
friendly
big thing in Paris, though. Like French people, my Parisian friends, they'll hold parties, like raclette parties in winter. So I know it's something Parisians celebrate. I didn't know the origin, but thank you. And sorry if I opened up a can of worms.
worms. It's friendly worms, but he did put a smiley
Also,
face. He's Swiss first, then he's French. So it's like in that order. But So okay, so I'm gonna ask the Frenchman. What do you think, Gilles, is the go-to, like what dish should people try? And I'm not gonna say escargot because I have a wonderful if you go on my Instagram page, you can see did you see I think because I've been checking out your Instagram page. Linda said hamburger. Oh, okay. Veal's head sauce clabiche. All right, that's pretty specific. Where do we get that, Gilles? Yeah, the beef from a butchery is unbelievable. Like it, oh, like the fact. I hope this never stops, and it makes me. I have to say that the American influence scares me a little bit in the sense that right now you still can. There's the boulangerie, and then there's the fromagerie. Oh my gosh, we have an incredible cheese shop like around the corner. When you go in there, the cheeses there are 10 times better than cheese you're going to get anywhere else and at half the price. I'm not even joking. It is incredible. But there are charcuterie. Like you go in there and there's a shop dedicated to terrines and cured meats. It's unfathomable that this actually still exists. This is what unfortunately has gone away in many parts of the world in the United States is butchers and things like that. Like there's a butchery, and I'm hoping that once the confinement's done, you can actually. I mean, there's a line out the door and around the block all the time. But I mean, you can tell. Like the other one down the street, the line's a little shorter. This one, the line is really, really long. So of course you're like, well, why? I got to go there. And it's like you go up and there's these beautiful just hunks of flesh, like marbled flesh and poulet, like the chickens that look like they actually are chickens. They don't look like, they're not like in styrofoam wrapped in plastic. You know, it's like incredible. And it's he knows where the beef is. Yes. So Linda, so I'm going to ask you, do you have your specific? I don't think we're over time because
we're actually over time. We're gonna have to continue.
No, I thought it was over at 8. It's 1 hour.
No, it's over at 7:45.
No. Aww.
I'm sorry.
How do you say goodbye?
I'm so sorry.
Okay.
But thank you guys all for coming. We're gonna.
Madeleine,
what did you just say?
When are we doing it again? Are we doing it Wednesday or tomorrow?
We'll be on twice next week. So look back at the from home part of Experience First, and you'll see when our event is. So thank you guys so much for coming.
I think Wednesday.
We're planning for Wednesday and Friday, but we'll see how it schedules. So
we're gonna
keep checking.
We're gonna make it really
there's also other events that are coming from other people that aren't us, but are part of Experience First.
Thanks.
Don't cry because it's over. Smile because it happened. Perfect, Linda.
And we have a sunset to go see. So, au revoir, à bientôt, à demain, all that stuff.
À demain. And we'll all be clapping in 7 minutes because it's almost 8 p.m. here.
Absolutely. Well, merci beaucoup, Madeleine. Bisous.
Merci beaucoup, Tracy.
Thanks, everybody. Thank you. I don't know how to end this.
Have a good night. Bye, guys. Au revoir. You go to more and then exit webinar. More at the top.
Yeah. They ended it.
Okay.
I really thought it was